Now we'll discuss the penicillin G or benzyl penicillin. This benzyl penicillin or penicillin G is a natural shorter acting parenteral penicillin. It's a natural shorter acting parenteral penicillin and it has very narrow antibacterial spectrum and it is effective against gram positive cocci, gram positive bacilli and only few gram negative cocci. So it has very narrow antibacterial spectrum. So which organisms are sensitive? Streptococci, pneumococci, gonococci, meningococci, Bacillus anthracis, Corynebacterium depth3, Clostridia, Listeria, Spirochetes, they are highly sensitive and they are also effective against some anaerobes. They are also effective against some anaerobes. However, many of the above microbes now reported from many countries to be resistant. Means among these, most of them are show resistance to the penicillin, right? Now pharmacokinetic properties. This penicillin G, it is destroyed by the gastric juice. So we can call it as acid labile, not acid stable. It's acid labile and it has very poor bioavailability when it is given orally. Hence it is given parenterally. When it is given orally, very poor or very low bioavailability, but still it is available orally. So keep in mind, still it is available orally, right? But it has very poor bioavailability, hence it is preferred parenterally. Food interferes with the absorption of penicillin G, hence it should be given 2 hours before or after food, either 2 hours before or after food. So there is an interference with the absorption. Penicillins widely distributed into the most of the tissues and body fluids but remain mostly extracellularly because they are highly polar or highly ionized drug. So they will get widely distributed into the various tissues and many of the body fluids, but they remain extracellularly because they are highly polar and they will get excreted as such in the urine because they are highly ionized drugs. Now, though generally penicillins do not readily cross the blood-brain barriers, do not cross blood-brain barrier generally or normally, but in presence of inflammation, therapeutic concentrations are attained. In presence of inflammation, in presence of meningitis, in meningeal inflammation, in presence of meningitis or meningeal inflammation, infection, therapeutic concentration are attained in the CSF because inflammation, it will weakens your blood-brain barrier and that will allow the penicillins to reach the brain. It will attain peak levels in 15 to 30 minutes when it is given parenterally. Half-life is 30 to 60 minutes and plasma protein binding is 60%. Now, here you can see it is rapidly excreted by the kidney, 10% by the glomerular filtration and 90% by the renal tubular secretions because penicillins are the organic acids. And if they are the organic acids, so they will transported with the help of organic acid transporter, right? Now here you can see penicillin by hepatic metabolism, penicillinoic acid, and by tubular secretion, it will get excreted as such. Penicillin, it will get excreted as such in the urine because it is highly polar or highly ionized drug. They are excreted unchanged in the urine, right? Now, as I told you, when it will get rapidly excreted by the kidney, about 90% of penicillin will excreted by the renal tubular secretion as a organ with the help of organic acid transporters. So probenecid, which is a anti-gout drug, uricosuric drug, so it competes with the penicillin G. Probenecid competes with the penicillin G for the renal tubular secretion, and that's why this probenecid prolongs the duration of action of penicillin. So this drug interaction is beneficial rather than harmful, right? It is not harmful, it's a beneficial drug interaction. Probenecids competes with penicillin G for what reason? For renal tubular secretion. They will get excreted from the kidneys through renal tubular secretion. So thereby they will interact with each other, they will compete with each other for what reason? Renal tubular secretion, and probenecid will prolong the duration of action of penicillin, right? Because there is a competition for this organic anion transporter, organic acid transporter. Now, repository preparations. As we know that duration of action of benzyl penicillin is very short and hence given parenterally. It is cumbersome to give penicillin, benzyl penicillin once in a 2 hours. At the time of need, you have to give once in 2 hours because half-life is very short. Half-life is very short, right? So, therefore, depot preparations of penicillin G are preferred. Depot preparations like procaine penicillin or benzathine penicillin. Procaine penicillin and benzathine penicillin. So procaine penicillin is a suspension of procaine, which is a local anesthetic, and complex, which is poorly soluble. It's a suspension of procaine and penicillin G. So we call it as a procaine penicillin. Procaine penicillin is always given by intramuscular route, intramuscularly. Virtually the injection is painless because procaine, which is released at the site of injection, slowly produces the local anesthetic action. A standard dose of procaine penicillin can act up to 24 to 48 hours. Means duration of action is increase when we add procaine, right? Now benzathine penicillin. Benzathine penicillin is a long-acting preparation. Long-acting preparation of the penicillin G, which acts for almost a month. Duration of action is 32 days. After 1.2 mega unit of deep intramuscular dose, it is given deep intramuscularly 1.2 mega unit, and it will act for next 32 days. The preparation should not be used for the acute and severe infection. It is mostly used for the prophylactic period, a prophylactic purpose, or it is used for the chronic infections. Benzathine penicillin. The distinct advantages of benzathine penicillin: avoid repeated injections, right? It will avoid the repeated injections. Local trauma is reduced. It will reduce the cost. These are the advantages of the benzathine penicillin over the procaine penicillin. Now, where we use these penicillins or penicillin G, procaine penicillin, benzathine penicillin. So basically in the pneumococcal infections like pneumonia, meningitis, osteomyelitis due to penicillin sensitive pneumococci. So in that case, penicillin G is the drug of choice. Then streptococcal infections, pharyngitis, sinusitis, pneumonia, meningitis, endocarditis, all are treated with the penicillin. All are treated with the penicillin if they are sensitive. The important thing, if they are sensitive, so you can use penicillin. In case of infective endocarditis, due to streptococci viridans, it is treated with high dose of penicillin G along with aminoglycoside. AMG means aminoglycoside along with penicillin G in case of infective endocarditis because of streptococci viridans. In meningococcal infection, penicillin G is the drug of choice for all meningococcal infections. Then staphylococcal infections. Since most staphylococci produce penicillinase, a penicillinase resistant penicillin should be used. A penicillinase resistant penicillin you have in case of staphylococcal infection, because staphylococci produces penicillinase which will degrade or which will going to metabolize or degrade the penicillins. So we have to use the penicillinase resistant penicillins. Syphilis is treated with procaine for 10 days or with benzathine penicillin single dose. Syphilis, which is not so common nowadays, but ancient time it is very much common, and procaine penicillin is the drug of choice for syphilis. Procaine penicillin is given for 10 days with single dose of benzathine penicillin. Diphtheria. Antitoxin is the only effective treatment. Diphtheria antitoxin. So when we give eliminate your carrier state, it will eliminate the carrier state, and procaine penicillin is given for 10 to 12 days. Then it is also effective in anaerobic infections like pulmonary, periodontal, brain abscess due to anaerobes respond to the penicillin G. So wide variety of infections we can treat with the help of penicillin G. Then you can treat tetanus, gas gangrene. Antitoxin is the treatment for the tetanus. Tetanus toxoid. Antitoxin is the treatment for tetanus, but this penicillin G don't value. Gas gangrene. In gas gangrene, it's a drug of choice. Penicillin G is a drug of choice in gas gangrene. Other infections, like you can give as a drug of choice in anthrax or trench mouth, or in case of rat bite fever or list, you can give as a drug of choice. Leptospirosis can be fatal when not treated on time, so it can respond to a course of penicillin. Or actinomycosis. Penicillin G is a drug of choice for all forms of actinomycosis. 12 to 20 mega units should be given for 6 weeks. So these are the various therapeutic uses I am saying. Now the prophylactic uses. You can use this penicillin as a prophylactic purpose for the recurrence of rheumatic fever. Then diphtheria for asymptomatic carriers. Various dental procedures, pharyngitis, syphilis, focal pyogenic infections, gonorrhea, patients with a deep burn, surgical procedures in patients with valvular heart disease. All these are the prophylactic uses. Of penicillin. Now the adverse effects, most important. Penicillins are highly safe drugs because they have high therapeutic index. They have wide range of therapeutic doses. So highly safe drug, high therapeutic index. Most of the adverse effects are not serious in therapeutic doses except hypersensitivity reaction. The only problem with the penicillins are hypersensitivity reaction. Hypersensitivity. Penicillin G is the most common cause of drug allergy. penicillin G is the most common cause of drug allergy. Degraded products of penicillin like penicillinoic acid is antigenic in nature, right? Degraded products of penicillin like penicillinoic acid is antigenic in nature, so it may cause various allergic reactions like skin rash, urticaria, pruritus, fever, bronchospasm, serum sickness, and it may also cause exfoliative dermatitis or very serious anaphylactic reaction, anaphylactic shock. It may also cause anaphylactic shock. Though all forms of penicillin can cause allergy, anaphylaxis is more common when it is given parenterally rather than orally. Means when it is given intravenously or intramuscularly, chances of hypersensitivity is more. Topical penicillins are highly sensitizing, that's why they are banned. Topical preparations of penicillin, they are not used nowadays because of high chances of hypersensitivity reactions. The highest incidence of hypersensitivity is seen with the procaine penicillin, where allergy is most often due to the procaine component. Procaine penicillin, highly allergic because of the procaine component, and there is a chance of cross sensitivity among the different penicillin preparations. Now, as you can see, there is angioedema. Penicillin hypersensitivity reactions can occur with any doses and it is highly unpredictable. You can't predict in that particular individual hypersensitivity may occur or may not be. It is highly unpredictable and it can occur at any doses. So most common life-threatening manifestations of penicillin hypersensitivity are angioedema and anaphylaxis. As you can see here, angioedema and anaphylaxis. All types of skin rashes have been observed. Late reactions like serum sickness may also be produced by penicillin. So you have to take care of all these things while treating the patients with penicillin. But how will you manage these hypersensitivity reactions? This is also important. You have to manage if there is a hypersensitivity reactions. For that you have to ask the patient's history of allergy to penicillin. If it is allergic to penicillin, then you have to be treated with the substitute. Should be treated with the other antibiotic if the patient has a history of penicillin allergy. Prior to the administration of penicillin, whether it is allergic or not, you have to go for the intradermal skin testing. Skin testing for the penicillin allergy, 0.1 ml. 0.1 ml of penicillin should be given intradermally for the drug sensitivity testing. Necessary care should be taken and adrenaline must be kept ready to encounter anaphylaxis caused by penicillin. You have to be ready with the Avil, phenyramine, dexamethasone, adrenaline. You should be ready to treat the anaphylactic reactions if you are treating the patient with the penicillin. Yes. Now other side effects like local side effects, when it is given deep intramuscular injection, it may cause pain at the site of injection due to irritant nature. Because of its irritant nature, it may cause localized pain at the site of injection. There is also chance of thrombophlebitis, particularly large doses due to irritation. It may also cause thrombophlebitis or local pain at the site of injection. It may also cause CNS side effects when large doses of penicillin G, more than 20 mega units injected intravenously. It may produces confusion, muscle twitchings, convulsions, coma, particularly in presence of renal dysfunction. If there is a renal dysfunction, there is a chances of these CNS side effects. There are chance of CNS side effects. Supra infections are very rare because of narrow spectrum activity of penicillins. Supra infections or super infections are very common. Very less or very rare. Now this very uncommon but highly serious reaction that is called as Jarisch-Herxheimer reaction. Jarisch-Herxheimer reaction, when penicillin is injected to a patient with syphilis, Treponema pallidum. Treponema pallidum is the causative agent for the syphilis. When penicillin is injected to a patient with a syphilis, there is a sudden destruction of the spirochetes and they release a lytic products. And that triggers a reaction which causes fever, myalgia, shivering, exacerbation of the syphilitic lesions and vascular collapse, and that is called as the Jarisch-Herxheimer reaction. This Jarisch-Herxheimer reaction, it is seen with penicillin. It is in patients with syphilis and there is a sudden destruction of spirochetes. They will cause destruction or they will destroy the spirochetes, and because of that spirochetes destruction, there is a release of lysis products, antigenic reaction, and that antigenic reaction in the form of fever, myalgia, shivering, exacerbation of the syphilitic lesions and vascular collapse. So it is highly dangerous. You have to treat with the steroids and analgesics. So this is all about the adverse effects of penicillin G.